ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we are finishing up our applied damage pals with Maraith or Maraith, Maraith. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Whatever. Very, very strange creature, to say the least. As you can see here, not a lot of people know about that or have seen them very often. Usually you find them up in this level 45 area at night. They are nocturnal specifically. But you can breed for these really early on, which I was surprised with. You can use a chickpea and a chillet to get one of these. Even like a lift monk and a celery, foxparks and a melpaca, a foxparks and the deer, lamball and a diamosis. You can actually breed for this pretty early on if you have the materials to. Even though it is a later stage pal that you find, as far as breeding for it, you can breed for it actually incredibly early. So that could be a deciding factor on whether it's worth it or not. But as it reads, can be ridden and applies dark damage to players' attacks while mounted. So this could be an alternative usage to Nox. Because Nox being a very early pal, such as this, with that one being be able to be bred so early from very early pals, you could probably breed up a pretty beast one with decent passives on it pretty quickly, especially early on. Now, is it really worth it to put that much time and effort into it? We will find out. As it stands right now, the attack power is only at a 53. We didn't want to burn too much time on this. The passives that I'm rolling on this is Lucky, Ferocious, Musclehead, and Legend. Our health is at 4,797. Our attack power is 1,603, and our defense is at 776. So this one, if you are breeding up for one like this, would definitely benefit from Burly Body. It is very, pretty low. About as low as our beacon, and this one can be got early, so it's about on par with the beacon. I digress. This thing does have kind of an awkward gait when you are riding it, so I was actually a little surprised with that. It's not bad for a beginning pal that you could breed that early for speed. Now this does have Legend on it, so it does have a 15% increase. The one thing that was actually pretty interesting was its jump. Because it does have wings, but it cannot fly, sadly. It does have some pretty crazy hang time there, so getting across certain areas, this might be a good thing for traversing early. But yes, we are going to be testing its overall damage capacity, and we are going to also be testing its applied damage as well. So we'll break out the hooker teas to see how well it does against Blazamut, but the rest of the stuff, we're probably going to be running it with a Rush or Hot Dog just to give it that boost. 931 is still low, but it's better than 700. Us ourselves, we will also be running a Rush or Hot Dog. We might switch this out because I did redo my actual stats, and I put about 7 points into health, 5 points into stamina. I think it was 2 points into weight, and then the rest went into attack power. First things first, we're going to see what kind of damage we could do against Blazamut. All right, let's see how they do. Three abilities, and we got them down about half. I am on fire terribly. I'll tell you one thing. The enhancement to fire that dude does is incredibly powerful. So yeah, with a little bit of assistance with the AR, didn't have too much trouble there. I can't ride you. Overall attack power is not too bad. It being dark, very strong type, especially early game. And again, I must bring this up a lot, but the fact that you can get him with early breeding, such as what we had spoken about earlier, is definitely a factor. Straight out of the pit, into the fire. Now we are still running hooker tees behind this. We do not have the gob fins. So yeah, not really running attacks behind it, but even with just the hooker tees, which of course we're not going to be doing near the damage that we should be doing, we're able to dodge a lot of the attacks. The floating up stuff is actually pretty interesting. I didn't think that was going to work as well as it did, but it did. Able to dodge stuff pretty well. All right, so now we're going to switch out our hooker tees and put on our gob fins. We're going to go against Paldius and Necromus. All right, we're out here with Paldius and Necromus. We will be feeding them a rush or hot dog, and we will be feeding ourselves a burger, but that might be a mistake. But nonetheless, let's see what we can do here. So yeah, not too bad for what it's worth. So in conclusion, is Maraith again? I don't know. You make the decision. I don't care. Weird lion horsey can't fly but has wings thingy. It looks pretty odd. Is it worth it? When it comes down to brass tacks on this in particular one, I'm gonna say no, because when it comes to in-game, this is not worth investing this much into it. Clearly, it's not got much defense. You'll have to pad that out with a lot of stuff, with Burly Body especially. Like I drop Lucky, put Burly Body on there, and you might have something decent pretty going on. It's kind of like the same thing with Beacon. Beacon's super low with its defense rating, but is not too bad if you end up putting Burly Body on it if you breed for him. But I will make an argument for the sake that you can breed this incredibly early. If you get the eggs, the honey, so on and so forth, which if you have the wherewithal to go into the area up around here, you'll see a lot of Cinnamoths, and Cinnamoths do drop honey. So you can get at least your first cake going. And first thing that I always do whenever I'm starting out the game is I go for my first breeding to be a bee guard, because they're kind of difficult to catch, and breeding for one is just going to be easier. Once you get your bee guard, then you have unlimited honey and you can start that going. And then maybe the second thing that you want to put together is a chillet and a chickpea, and pull one of these. If I'm not mistaken, the Cinnamoths are in the 20s though, so that might not be the greatest of things. Take a little peeksy over here. Here's one that's level 19. Well, there's a shiny Cinnamoth. I have no balls on me. 18, a level 30. That's level 20, level 18, level 20. So they're a bit higher up. You could probably kill them at level, usually the rule of thumb with playing on normal settings at least, about 10 levels below you have a chance. And if you get one that's kind of singled out, then you'll be able to kill it pretty quickly if you have something going with you, bow. But yeah, you could definitely breed for this incredibly early and be able to have a fairly decent riding pal that also applies dark damage. One of the other caveats of this getting it super early, in quotations at this point, you get your Van Worm saddle at 21 and you get your Maraith saddle at level 23. So you can breed for it really early, but as far as being able to ride it, you gotta wait a bit. So there could be a little bit of option there as far as your decision making on trying to use this as early as you can, depending. 23 is not hard to get to, so I will make that argument. But other than that, no, definitely not worth it to invest that much time into as far as maxing it out and so on and so forth. The defense is just too low for me to justify it, because even with the Rushmore hot dog that's still going, we're at 931, which is not bad, but we are at a 73 defense. So it might be able to fix if you were able to put like burly body on this, but again, not something that I would suggest running, considering that there are just better alternatives when it comes to applied damage pals, especially when it comes to dark applied damage. When you have Pyron knocked and you have Raw Stallion knocked, Raw Stallion knocked being the primary on that. Food for thought, it being able to be bred really early is a possible winner at that point. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like. If you guys enjoyed my content, drop a sub, and write down in the comments below what you think of Maraith. Our next video is going to be on the full breakdown of all applied damage pals, and then we are moving on to enhancement pals, or enhanced damage pals. And the first one that we're going to be breaking out, because we've already done the Sezaku, the Yormantide Ignis, and the Blaze 'em Up mixed in. And the last one, first one that we're going with is Shadowbeak, which I have redone mine to a monster. Other than that, keep your willy washed, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.